criminal mastermind.
Now look around, this is what they call greatness.
Please welcome, all the way from Ireland, author Eoin Colfer of the popular Artemis Fowl book series, now a major motion picture from Walt Disney Pictures. Eoin!
Hi, Jeff.
Greetings from Las Vegas.
Good. I've never been to Las Vegas. It's always wanted to go. So maybe next year. Not this year, obviously. Maybe next year.
Well, we're partially open, so we'd love to have you.
Oh, you guys are open again. That's great. I didn't know that.
Well, Eoin, I have to tell you, about 4 or 5 years ago, I visited Ireland, and it's just the most beautiful country. I fell in love with it. I saw a championship hurling match, and I was rooting for Tipperary. I even brought home one of the jerseys. I also brought a hurling stick home too, try to get that through airport security. I also went to the county of Cork and did a tour of the Quiet Man, where they shot the movie with John Wayne. I just love your country. I'm in love with it.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. My mother is from Tipperary, so she will be very pleased to hear that. Up tip, as they say.
Now, Eoin, your book, Artemis Fowl, it's been a journey of 20 years from book to screen. You must have such patience.
Well, I didn't. So what I did was after about 3 years, I just, in my mind, I just shut that door and said, okay, I'm going to move on to other things. And I really repressed it. So it wasn't until about 3 or 4 years ago when Kenneth Branagh's office called me that I allowed myself to open that little door and let some hope shine through. And they made it, when they got going, they made it quite quickly for a big movie of this scale. So it's really exciting. Disney have been so kind and inclusive of my family every step of the way. They told us everything they were doing, all the casting. They brought us over to the set. They were so nice to my boys, which is very important to me, and my wife. And we've made friends in the company. So I'm very good friends with the head of Disney Ireland now. And so it's more than a movie to me. It's like a period of our life that we were really happy and made new friends. So whenever I watch this movie, I'm kind of watching it all the layers back to the guy who supplied the nails, who I also met. So it's an unusual experience, but great.
Now, we understand that you have a cameo in the Artemis Fowl movie. Movie making's hard work, isn't it? It's very repetitious.
Oh my goodness. I filmed a couple of cameos and they used one, but one of the ones they didn't use, all I had to do was walk across a field and say a few things to a dog, like, come here, dog. And I just couldn't get it right. They said, don't look at that camera. And I just kept looking at the camera. And so by the end of that day, I just had so much respect for actors. It's so much more difficult. So I decided then I was gonna be like Daniel Day-Lewis and retire early. So that's what I have done. I'm gonna stick to the writing.
Did you feel like you were in good hands when you heard that Kenneth Branagh was going to be directing Artemis Fowl?
Oh, absolutely. As soon as I knew it was Kenneth and then I met him, I just relaxed completely. Up to then, I was quite anxious. After all, this is something I've worked on for nearly 20 years now, in one form or another. It's really the bulk of my career is the Fowl universe. So just to hand it over to someone like that, it was very disconcerting. But as soon as I heard it, before I met Kenneth Branagh, when I heard it was him, I relaxed. And then when he began to hire actors like Nonso Nonsier and Judi Dench and Josh Gad, who I think is possibly one of the greatest natural comedians / actors working today, Ferdy Shaw, Laura McDonald. I just knew it was going to be a quality show, and I was happy just to sit back and let them run with it.
Was your first reaction when you saw Ferdy Shaw, that's our Artemis Fowl?
Immediately. You just look at him in that suit, and the first pictures I saw of him, he was just wearing the suit, the black suit, looking like a little reservoir dog, and I thought, perfect. This guy looks exactly right, and he could act the part as well. And Laura, who plays Holly, she's amazing, and she's perfect as well. So I think with those two at the center, because that's the crucial relationship, the story is safe.
Now, Eoin, do you interact on social media? Are you accessible to your fans?
I am accessible. I'm not active in the way young people would be active, because I check Instagram once a day, and that's it. I'm not on anything else. So I might put up a photo every 2 days, maybe. So I'm not terribly active, but I do try and get through the messages. I get quite a few messages, so I try and respond to those. And I especially love when people do fan art. I love that, or when they set up photographs. I love all that kind of thing. So yeah, I think some social media is nicer than others. So I like to stay on the positive side. I don't like to go down rabbit holes of comments. I just like to have a brief happy burst once a day, and that's about how active I am, which I think is probably not as much as some other people, but I think it's enough for me.
Well, Owen, what's next for you? Any more Artemis Fowl books in the near future?
No, Artemis is done and dusted. I do have a little series with his twin brothers called the Fowl Twins, so they're a lot more anarchic than Artemis, but that's fun. I think that will be a short series of 3. So number 2 is just in the bag now, so that's coming out in October. So I'm very excited about that, and as I was saying, I've based those 2 characters on my own sons. So that's interesting. They're giving me fresh ideas every day. Inspiration comes from all over, and what I say to young writers, because that is the question I'm asked most often from young writers, is where am I supposed to get inspiration? It's just keep your eyes open. It's happening all around you. Don't sit in your room all the time. Obviously, you've got to spend some hours in there putting in the work, writing your stories, but you don't shut yourself away. Get out there, talk to people, form relationships, hoard inspiration, because usually the stuff you do from maybe age 10 to 30, that's what's going to keep you going for the rest of your life. So you've got to get out there and make as much inspiration as you can. Personally, most of my characters come from my family. My 2 boys now, Finn and Sean, they are the Fowl Twins in the new series. My brother Donal, he's 5 years younger than me. He was Artemis Fowl, based on him when he was a child. It's all in there. And sometimes I don't even know until I drill down into a character and I realize, oh, that's my friend Liam, or that's my friend Dec. So it all comes from somewhere. And nearly everybody I meet, I'm sizing them up to see, would they be a good fairy? Maybe they'd be a good goblin, or maybe they would be a good elf, I don't know. But I'm always on the lookout for interesting characters that have something different about them that would make them stand out in a story.
Well, Owen, thank you so much for the conversation today, all the way from Ireland, and come visit us in Las Vegas real soon.
Oh, I would love that. I will tell my publishers immediately, we need to have a launch of something in Las Vegas so I can come down there and have a look around.
Well, I'll return the favor. I'll come back to Ireland. I miss it so much.
There you go. We'd love to have you. Get you a Dublin Hurley this time.
I'll be sure to do it. Thanks again.
Thank you. Thank you very much.